Champions, welcome back. My name is Vox, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the semi-final game we will be spectating today with Team Eager versus Ronin. This one is gonna be good. On the left-hand side of your screen, you see Team Eager, ShadeeyShades on Pip, Knobster running Kinessa of all champions, Reptile on Barrack, Awry on that Drogos, and Bitey. Bitey returning this week on Grok.
And on the side of Team Ronin, you've got Aeido playing Fernando, which is blowing me out of the water just looking at that. Going to be some hot plays coming out from there. Shundu onto Barrack, Sentry onto the Ruckus, Iceberg onto Pip, and PowTecH onto the Grok. Some guys I played with actually a lot this week, and their PowTecH Grok was looking good, man. Aeido, however, was playing Ying, and so I'm thinking he's going to bring some Ying out, but he throws a Fernando out. What's that about?
That's a complete reversal. Now, before we start talking about the catch point, which has spawned on Waterfall, and oh, good grief, Bitey getting credit for a first blood there. Hold that thought. We can't not talk about this, as the Fernando has actually been taken out of the fight. This gives immediate point control, potentially to the side of Team Eager. But what I was going to say is Team Eager put on a bit more of a, we got to say it, a disappointing showing last week in the tournament. They were the favorites to take the potentially #1 spot, the first qualifier spot, or at the very least #2, and they got wiped out on the bottom side of the bracket. Didn't even make it all the way through the finals, but we've got to mention that Bitey was actually in as a sub that last week. Is back on the main roster now, playing today, that Grok pick, of course, and this is potentially turnaround time for Team Eager, where they can re-establish their #2 place in North America.
Yeah, it was unexpected. You know, you never expect to see a big name like that, but really nice ultimate from Awry there, actually showing the case that Eager is here to play and stay. Knobster with some Kinessa snipes finishing off of Aeido, and ShadeeyShades going and taking down Iceberg as well. This is going to be an easy cap for Team Eager, looking very strong early on in this game, and the Fernando pick becoming more and more questionable for me as this capture point and game moves on. I want to see him pick it up here. Aeido really opting for a unique approach and going for Fernando when we see him on more of the Cassies and the Yings, and now it's Fernando. I still can't make sense of this, but he is going to be a backline threat to this Knobster, this Kinessa, and great teleporter to get her into safety, but that is going to be his goal as a Fernando, more of a backline aggressor and pressure.
Or potentially the frontline defender we have seen around capture point. Bitey pops the ultimate, picks up a health pack with no health left, gets a double kill. No, ShadeeyShades getting credit for the second kill there, but Bitey survives through all that damage thanks to picking up the health drop dropped by one of his kills there. PowTecH left to defend, but the payload is being pushed through with no Fernando, no Barrack left available. This is going to be difficult to stop. I expected to get all the way through to the gate, and all the while Knobster on this Kinessa just dropping damage in the backline. That is going to be devastating.
Well, you know, she's dropping damage, but she's dropping down. She saw Aeido coming up the steps, and she's like, get me out of here. I am not messing with this flamethrower. I am Kinessa. I am a sniper. I am not meant to be in this battlefield. I'm supposed to be on the side. I'm a tactical support here. I'm trying to apply pressure from a distance. I don't want to fight up close, and that's what they're trying to force her to do as much as possible. PowTecH and squad from Team Ronin have attempted to go ahead and get Knobster out of the fight, and they finally do. And this payload looks like it's doing a good job of staying right where they want it, right in that chokehold, getting pushed back a little bit, and allowing them to successfully defend. Oh, did he hit another Dragon Punch?
He hit another Dragon Punch. He went right through those caverns in the middle of the map, straight through, and with that, wiping out the last person, except Aeido now back on this Fernando. I mean, that pretty much wiped the team there. The payload is pushed back where it once was before the retreat, and the reverse kind of came through, and the good defense came through, and now it's Eager's turn once again to start putting the pressure on. Sentry and PowTecH having to dip back into the base, as does Shundu, and now the pressure is coming out as Aeido drops in that Fernando. There's no Fernando left. It's going to have to be either PowTecH on this Grok or the Barrack potentially on the side of Ronin looking for this defense, and all the while the high ground advantage still on the side of Eager, supported by this Kinessa pick.
Yeah, and Aeido's back. He's been doing a good job of applying the frontline pressure, but he hasn't had a lot of follow-up. They've been kind of forced out by Bitey and Awry. Just so much damage coming out. PowTecH hasn't really even been able to get near the payload at this point, but looks like they've kind of stabilized, right? Bitey's a little low, Awry's a little low. He's going to have to get away from here. Otherwise, Shundu's going to take him out up that top ledge. And Awry comes in with the
Dragon Punch goes through. Dragon Punch misses everything.
Misses. Hits the payload, bounces back up. Not enough. Awry is still alive, though.
He is still alive despite all odds. Going to take a healing potion from ShadeeyShades there, staying alive for a little bit longer. Oh, Iceberg just able to get to safety. Not like we can say that for Sentry, though. But we do have to see Awry get onto that payload if he wants to take it into overtime. No beams The defense is successful, and the payload has been stalled out.
No beans for you, got a sniper Cupid. No beans for you, team. Looks like Eager, you guys are not going to be able to push this past Ronin and Fernando and squad. We know Fernando's an amazing defender. We know that. We want to see Fernando highlight his prowess when the payload is being pushed by successfully playing these capture points correctly. Didn't do it last time. Aeido was first blood and immediately came back, died again. We want to see Aeido stay alive a lot more in this fight. Utilize his shields, utilize his immortal, his ability to stay invulnerable, apply some time and pressure and healing for his team. These are the things we need to see Aeido doing. And look, they're going for the flank.
But
strong flank.
It is
Nobster's
gone. For the next point.
Nobster's trying to get gone right here.
Oh god, yeah, Nobster needs to get right out of there on that Kinessa pick. Needs to not be anywhere near all that damage. Does actually fling the teleporter out sideways, taking a bit of backline defense, and this flank has gone very, very wrong for Ronin as Eager fended off quite nicely, despite the shield pressure from the side of Ronin. ShadeeyShades in a lot of trouble now though. 1 versus 2 is going to manage to gets the kill onto Aeido. Shundu picks up the health nugget, but ShadeeyShades might just survive this.
And I like what Nobster did to position herself away from the fight, but then she went onto the point. Everyone's fighting up on the upper deck. It's like, hey, I'll go onto the point and I'll snipe you through the walls. But now, looking a little bit more threatening here is PowTecH and squad, but they have to back off because sentry goes down and there's just nothing to contest. And although members of Team Eager aren't on the point yet, they are now. And Bitey and Reptile securing what should be the final 15 points to give them a 4-1 advantage.
Absolutely, and Aeido goes straight into the backline looking for the Kinessa pick instead of going to contest the point, as only he was actually available to do so. Dragon Punch does come through, doesn't connect onto anybody. We're seeing players knocked around, Aeido going up into the air. And let's talk about builds just 1 second, as the player's going to start pushing through, and we're just going to have some of the choke point pushing, which we've seen many times before. Awry's running the Decimate 4 build, the knockback. The knockback that we come to love, that we thought maybe we'd see on Cassie coming into the meta, but it's just the ability to push that over shields and the ability to fly up in the air and still drop those salvos on players, on Drogos, is a bit more valuable than Cassie right now, I feel.
You know, I think it's twofold. I think Cassie might have her place still in this meta. I think it's a preference. You know, a lot of these players perform better on certain characters, but Drogo's knockback still nothing to be worried about, especially because it can be affected beyond the shields. That's a huge point. We cannot forget, considering they've got 2 shields on the side of Team Ronin.
Absolutely, being able to just wing one of those expectorate shots around, knock somebody up, and then maybe get some air shots off, absolutely devastating. Iceberg in a lot of trouble up the top. Excellent shot with the expectorate there, Awry getting credit for that kill. Sentry now in trouble as well, as the Hexafire does slow your movement, making you an ideal target for both Kinessa and Drogos. Getting a 1 punch as well as Awry. Awry is just coming out in space today. Shundu not close enough to the payload to contest, and Team Eager take a second, actually. No, it was their first payload conversion of the game.
In the back of the head, the dragon will shoot you tonight. That's a quote from Hindu Man yesterday, bringing out the incredible descriptive Drogos plays. And I got to say, that wasn't a shot in the back of the head. That was a punch in the back of the head. Grok had no idea. PowTecH was totally stunned at the fact that he was getting dragon punched until it just happened. It's too late. It's one of those things you got to pick up on. And we've seen this twice, actually. Drogos floating in behind the defenders and kind of dragon punching behind them. And they just focusing on the payload and not really realizing. And then all of a sudden, 1-man advantage onto the attacking team. We've seen that make the difference, and made the difference last round as well.
Indeed, indeed. With that successful push, Eager now fully stocked on burn cards. Taking out, let's see, we've got a lot of develops coming out, some defensive cards coming out. I'm liking how Eager are going primarily for defensive burn cards here instead of the offensive burn cards, which we often see. No aggression pick up coming through here. Bitey does pick up one particular card, can't quite make out what that is. Unfortunately, we aren't able to mouse over those burn cards in the scoreboard right now, but Team Eager are just running around as a cohesive group, and this Kinessa pick is working.
Yeah, it's really nice too, because she's basically going for Blast Shield, she's going for Haven, and then she's going for I forget the name of it, but it reduces crowd control reduction, right? So
yes, Sterilize.
Sterilize. So what she's trying to do is basically avoid any possible way of being locked down and avoid as much damage as possible so she could survive and stay in the fight. And that is going to help her. It really is. I mean, not only is she going to have her presence felt from a long distance, when she gets up close, she's going to be able to get back to that long distance that much more effectively. And that's what you got to do as a Kinessa. I don't see her as a great pick in pickup games because it's very tough if you don't have a team being able to protect her. But in terms of the competitive scene, if you have a team that knows what they're doing and can coordinate, they keep Kinessa alive, she could be great.
Good grief, look at this Durgus play coming out from Awry. I completely agree as well. Kinessa has the potential to deal a devastating amount of damage, not just that Kinessa can do it from a very long range. She doesn't excel as much on point control, but on attack and defend, she can pick off enemy backline and make the push or the defense so much easier, but it only works if you can stop these backline dives, and so far, Team Eager have been very successful with that, not just from their defense as a team, but also from Nomster's positioning. Nomster able to use that teleporter to reposition where I honestly don't expect them to. Not necessarily out of the fight, just around the fight, allowing them to, like we saw on the first capture point, jump on there, get some cap, and then relocate to deal some more damage again.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not even following Nomster on half of these teleports. Like, I'm kind of moving my camera to think, oh, this is where she's going, and then all of a sudden I can't find her, and that's a testament to Nomster's ability to kind of be duplicitous with her thoughts and her actual, actions. Nice dragon punch again in the back of the head. The dragon will punch you tonight on the sentry there, and it's just overwhelming how good Team Bitey and squad from Eager performed this game. I would
absolutely.
It's just no contest. No contest, really. I mean,
what are we going to say?
One defense. That's it. That's all they can pull off.
Right.
Just a massacre.
And going back to last week again, I mean, Team Eager just seemed to be not with it. They didn't seem to be contenders. They went from being a first or second place team to being a, well, they did end up as I think it was a third place team from the brackets last week, or even a fourth place team. But on the other hand, we saw Ronin kind of really advance their standing. Now, comparatively, Team Eager want to take back that glory. They want to take back their position as #2 seed in North America. And taking a look at the scoreboard, look at those damage numbers coming out. They are fully committed to doing just that.
Yeah, Awry putting a new meaning on the NA ults, really, because I mean, he's hitting every single one of his dragon punches. I mean, this is impressive play. I'm looking at Nomster's Kinessa, and again, like, that to me is the biggest thing, that she was able to, like, Team Eager was able to get away with that. Like, Kinessa is a god that you kind of, as a champion, you really need to punish for being on the battlefield, because she's can get locked down by those closer characters, but instead, it was actually Team Eager punishing Team Ronin for trying to aggress onto the Kinessa and forcing so much of their tactics behind Fernando and Aeido to go and try and kill her, and Kinessa, with the really good teleporter play, and Team Eager, knowing they were trying to do that, were able to counter, get Aeido out of the fight immediately. We saw that in the first capture point, and all of a sudden, it's a 5-4-man advantage, and now you cannot go ahead and try and aggress on Kinessa, because then it's 3v5 on the point, and you just can't do that. And so you have to try and concentrate your efforts, and Kinessa's there to snipe you. That is really the biggest issue. If you're going to go for Kinessa, you got to kill her. If not, you better hope you don't die, because now your team is in a horrible position, and that's kind of what Team Ronin got caught in doing.
I mean, Team Ronin kind of built their team composition around that full in-your-face frontline build. They have the Barrack, they have the Fernando, they have Grok to keep both of those alive and keep on dishing out damage with that Invigorate build. They have Ruckus on the gunship, Sentry running that Ruckus with gunship there to be the hypermobile damage, and they have Pip as well, the wild card. Long-distance AoE damage as well as the odd heal for the team. And, I mean, Team Eager just didn't play into that. They took a more sort of, how should we say it, reserved composition, where they stay back, they wait for these cooldowns to go down, and then they deal their damage from a distance rather than being right up close and in your face. And it worked out very well. Going into game 2, Eager will lead 1. What kind of changes would you like to see come out of Ronin to make this go to a best-of-3 reign?
Well, I mean, I'm a little shocked at kind of the build that Aeido's running. Like, I don't know if that was what I would be picking up. The particular card that kind of stands out to me is Field Dressing 1. Yeah. Or where you're standing near an objective, you spawn an HP drop every 5 seconds that heals you for 100. I mean, with such a high health pool as Fernando, that's going to be barely any of your health. But also, every 5 seconds is kind of a long time to be waiting for an HP drop. And especially since you're going to be chasing down a Kinessa, you're not even going to be near those objectives. So that seems kind of like a card loss. I would have much rather seen like an Incinerate where you can burn enemies for 150 damage over 4 seconds with your Fireball and maybe catch up, maybe apply that damage onto Kinessa as she's running. So she's taking that damage over time. She's in combat for 4 seconds. She can't heal up with some of her cards that allow her to heal up for quite a tremendous amount if she stands still out of combat. So I would have loved to see some switches in terms of actual builds, which is not usual to say because I'm not a pro, but do you agree? Are you seeing, I'm not seeing field dressing be as effective as I think he might have wanted it to be.
I agree with you that the Fernando build is a little bit peculiar. You've got to remember that the health drops from field dressing don't even proc with the burn card Gather, which heals you for, I think, 20% of your max HP when picking up a health drop. That was changed back in CB19, to my knowledge. So that's definitely something which I want to see change. We saw it sort of work last game, but with the more backline-orientated comp from Iga, I mean, you've got to get right up in their faces, and Fernando's so slow and bulky and immobile at the moment. You're just locking down the point, you're taking free damage, and then you walk up to the backline, and whilst you're doing so, you're taking free damage, and then what's left? We've got no
exactly.
EV. If we know that Team Iga are going to be running a Kinessa, potentially an Eevee pickup might be useful here, because Eevee is excellent at taking out that Kinessa. Comparatively, we might think that potentially that Kinessa pick is a bait and will be swapped out in the next game just to prevent that EV assassination from coming through. In which case, what about Drogos? Isn't Ronin the first team that we watched some of the great Drogos plays come out with last week? And where are they today?
Yeah, where are they today? I don't see it. I mean, am I mixing teams up? Was Blazin not on Ronin? Where was Blazin playing? Because Blazin was showing some amazing Drogos plays.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out, but we will get ready to spectate Game 2 coming at you in just a couple of minutes. This is going to be all the marbles as Iga potentially could advance to the finals of this week and have a shot at qualifying or at least entering into the playoff round next week, whereas comparatively Ronin need to pull out the reverse sweep to do just the same. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Paladins, champions of the realm. Get ready for Game 2 of this semifinal match versus Team Eager and Team Ronin. On the left-hand side, you've got Team Eager, who took Game 1, featuring Awry onto the Drogos, Nomster on Kinessa again, ShadeeyShades onto Pip, Reptile repping that Barrack, and then Bitey onto the Grok. And I'll give it over to my co-commentator, Vox, to introduce Team Ronin.
Thank you, Rain. On Team Ronin, we have Shundu on Barrack, Aeido once again on Fernando, PowTecH on Grok, Blazin returning instead of sEntryyy this time, gonna be on the Drogos, which we loved last week, and Iceberg on Pip. The first capture point is spawned is on the Mines capture point on the left-hand side of your mini-map. And it looks like Ronin are getting no, it's Iga that are getting an early lead, but Ronin come around for the flank.
Yeah, the problem is if the flank gets snuffed out, you're at an immediate disadvantage because you lose your mounts and the enemy team has first shot on you. They put you down at that disadvantage so that even if you're having an even trade after that, you've already gotten hit by some type of burst. Both knockbacks, however, hit onto the teams, but first blood goes onto Awry, like I said, on the team that snuffed out PowTecH and Ronin's flank. So not a good thing to have those flanks snuffed out, man. It's just really we're seeing the team that gets caught flanking consistently take the worst of these capture point trades.
Absolutely. I mean, it's sort of expected. And if we think about the Mines point, you both approach and you've got a long, from two different sides of the point, you've got a long corridor through which you can see players advance to the point. Now, if they aren't advancing to the point, either they're hiding on their side or they're looking for the flank. And just by waiting out of sight, seeing who makes the first move, you can definitely catch out these flanks as they come. Iga, though, they see nobody running straight towards the point. They know that without Master riding on each side, the timing is going to be about the same. They go straight to the point and set Nomster up on the high ground there, able to dish out damage as Kinessa, now with a cap going in their favor, an early 2-point lead. Eager are going to push through as Awry goes in with a Dragon Punch, wipes out PowTecH, immediately gets out of there, goes up into the sky, dropping shots down all the while. Look at that damage go.
Nice ult there by Awry, keeping things heavy while Blazin is in the back line getting focused out by Nomster, who's got some free shots there. No aggression onto her yet. Iceberg sniffs out a Kinessa doing a little bit too much damage, and he's forced to go and weightless over there. Let's see if Nomster's teleporter can be as on spot as they've been. Oh my god, nice kill by Awry and Nomster together to work and finish off the Iceberg, who was Oh my god, he was so close to picking up Nomster. She probably had 10, 20 to 50 health left, but a nice expectorate knocking him back and allowing the kill to take place. What a play there to keep Nomster alive.
Indeed. Now Blaze on the backside, looking to defend, looking to try and hit around the shields, but Bitey goes into Tempest form. He's trying to burn down this Fernando's shield, put it on cooldown, and burn down Fernando's high health pool as well. It seems to be working. There's a chicken that comes out from Iceberg. Bitey and ShadeeyShades in a lot of trouble. They do drop down. Nomster's backdooring.
She backdoored the payload the entire way. And that's Knessa. Knessa put that payload the entire way.
Oh no, and then the counter chicken and Dome Shield ultimate though. Look at that, look at the damage. The wipe comes out from Team Eager. They're gonna take out all members.
Oh my god.
We just saw that again.
Wow. What a knockback. What a knockback. Blazin is kind of getting shown up here, apparently. That was just unbelievable play there by Awry, who's just doing everything right. Building in that decimate format as well, going for the increased knockback. The biggest play for me was Nomster. I mean, you would not expect Knessa to be pushing that payload, and so they probably just forgot about it. They're like, okay, Knessa's somewhere sniping. Let's take care of these other 4. But no, she was pushing the payload. It got all the way to their front doorstep, basically about to open the door before they realized it. And after that, Awry just had an easy expectorate to knock him back and just guaranteed the successful push.
And that's the fantastic play we want to see coming out of these decimate pickups, and it's working so far. Blazin demonstrating it phenomenally to win out the game, to win out a set, I think it was, for the side of Ronin last week. But this time, as you said, Awry is just schooling them. Aeido already down, lightly taken out by a Dragon Punch. PowTecH gonna fall as well. Blazin now in an awkward spot, caught between Knessa on one side and the rest of the team on the other is going to fall as well. Shundu retreating will be picked up by Awry, and that's a full team wipe. Aeido spawning in, and this looks honestly dismal for Ronin right now.
I have to tell you, Eager is playing so well. I mean, when I played PowTecH and Aeido and these guys earlier in the week, I don't think I got a kill. I mean, they were literally camping us in our base. Like, and I'm not the worst Paladins player, but these guys are putting them into school. Eager right now is putting on a clinic. A lot of people getting out for college right now. These guys are about to go back into session in this match because it is just a show. 10 streaks for 3 players, 6 streak, and a 3 streak for the other 2. I mean, somebody's got to change. Something's got to give.
Well, you know what's remarkable? Full burn card retention. Not a single kill picked up by Ronin in that last point fight engagement, giving the full advantage to the side of Team Eager. Awry might be in a lot of trouble here, as there's a turret behind him dishing out damage he's not noticing. Bitey's going to block a couple of shots. Awry's going to be able to get to safety. Aeido's going to go onto the point as that Fernando going to stop the payload for a second, but it's out of his reach, and now with the movement speed slowed with the shield active, I mean, the payload pushed forward by about 5 meters without him being able to catch up.
Oh man, and Shundu tries to flank and finish off Awry, but he doesn't have enough damage. Barrick, obviously his damage got nerfed a little bit, but he just couldn't finish him off, and Awry's ability to basically fly up allows him to stay alive for a while, but Iceberg, the pip, says, no. Take those burn cards away, take that 10 streak down to 0, and let me put you back on an even playing field. So he gets a nice kill there to end Awry's killing streak, which must have been at 11, 12, or 13 at that point. Now him and Nomster are facing off.
Now with, let's just look into Nomster. Yeah, Iceberg going to be taken out there by Awry again. Once again, saving Nomster. We got a little bit of downtime whilst the payload's pushing through this choke point uncontested. Let's look at the scoreboard and burn cards really quickly. Once again, Eager defensive burn cards. That's what we're seeing the top teams pick up. We're not seeing the aggression pickups. We're seeing the defense. Because I mean, what's the phrase which I've heard F. say before is you deal no damage whilst you're dead. So if you can survive longer than the other team and deal a second round of damage through your second reload or whatever, you'll do more damage overall than the enemy team that's just got a damage multiplier card, and it's working out perfectly. Oh, Awry with the BM salvo tries to catch out PowTecH going back into the base. Blazin ults, but is dodged and juked by ShadeeyShades. Does get himself to safety for a second, but there's a cookie Nomster right up the top waiting for him. A credit goes to Nomster for that kill. Payload's almost at the conversion point.
And I want to tell you something. Did you just see that mine throw, that oppressor throw by Nomster? All the way from the top down to the side. Like, that is the type of high-level Knessa plays that you see Nomster showcasing right now. And the way he's been able to stay alive, he's on a 12 streak. He hasn't died. Almost no one has died on the side of Team Eager. It's 8-0. They've got the push and the capture every single time. This is about to be a 2-0 convincing sweep for a team that I considered to be a potential finalist in this week, Team Ronin.
Absolutely, and we've got to ask what's going on with Ronin here, and what's going on with Eager. And I think there's difference in both squads from last week, because we saw initially we had sEntryyy on the side of Ronin, and I think that swap up might have confused things. Things might have gone differently, but maybe they took a loss against Eager first, and now with Blazing back in, there's still low morale on the rest of the team, and Eager, hyped up by that, are running on momentum as well. They do have Bitey back in the squad on Grok, who he's remarked to me before. He used to be a Grok and Cassie main, and now he was forced to play Buck for a few patches. Buck out of the meta again. He's able to play these carry picks or these utility picks. He's enjoying it a lot, but chicken comes through. Awry gets one. Ronin in full retreat right now, but they're gonna get pincered.
Yeah, and gets taken out there. He pops into Tempest, but it's not enough to save him. You don't get any damage mitigation. It's not a ghost walk, so they just pop him down. It's like Ares. He ults you, you want to get away, or the best tactic is just to burst him down. If you have enough life to survive before that Tempest really does all of its damage, just kill him. Just kill him and it's over. That's the thing. If you can't survive and deal your damage, you're right. You cannot deal damage while you're dead, and so that is huge. Aeido jumping onto the point, kind of their last moment here, their last-ditch effort, but Awry, Bitey, Reptile, Nobster, ShadeeyShades all up. They do concede a little bit of this point pressure, but Bitey's got an ult, and that takes down Awry, and that takes down Aeido, and it looks like it's just too much for Team Ronin this week. I don't know, Vox, we saw a lot of changes. We saw the sEntryyy, we saw Blazin come in. One player doesn't change a team dynamic necessarily in terms of it's everybody's job to step up, right? Blazin isn't going to win the game for you. It may help your dynamic, it may hurt, but everybody's got to step up. And really the team that stepped up today with a 9-0 sweep for the second game was Team Eager.
Absolutely. I think really we could talk about what might have happened with Ronin, but really look at the difference between Team Eager last week and this week. I mean, they've got their full roster back, and they are just killing it right now. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and see those numbers. Absolutely. Iceberg, the only one coming close to the side of Ronin's damage across the board from Eager, but Awry once again on this Drogos, 47k, doubling the damage of half of the players on his team and all of the players on the opposing team of Ronin.
You know why? Because he hit maybe 5 or 6 one punches, and that's all of the character's health. He landed that very consistently, and he was very effective in that. But not only that, Kinessa was so impactful and died only twice. Kinessa died only twice. Like, that is an anomaly all of itself. Like, if you told me Kinessa died twice in any Paladins game, I would say, get out of town. No, that didn't happen. Stop lying to me. What is this, April Fool's? No, Kinessa died twice because of the communication and the coordination of these teams. And to me, Eager, not only, I think there's two things, Fox. It's like the surprise factor. They weren't expecting Eager to be so good after such a dismal performance last week in terms of what they were expecting to do. But also the fact that everyone on Eager just stepped up and played their best. That, I think, was a big turnaround for this team that was kind of out of it, and now they're in the finals.
They are indeed. Team Eager do advance to the finals to face off against Warpath Gaming, who did beat out Identity Crisis for a 2-0. Let's just take a quick last look at the builds before we proceed any further. I just want to hover over, excuse me a second. I want to hover over Kinessa's build. This is just regarding a comment which he made at the last moment. So if we go to the very final card in Kinessa's build, it's called Tracking 1 for the Oppressor Mine ability or skill. Enemies affected by your Oppressor Mines are revealed to you for 10 seconds. So if Kinessa places these offensively or defensively, it's a 1-point cost card. Enemies that get ticked by these Oppressor Mines are revealed for 10 seconds. They're only revealed to Kinessa, but that means Kinessa can then either track them round walls, round objectives, or can point out locations to their team. So not only is this useful for attacking and defending, because she can throw it over a wall, like we saw from the top of the point all the way down into the major fights, not only slowing enemies, but also revealing them to herself. But when you have Drogos looking to fire and do fire off expectorate explosions round a corner for some zone pressure, which we saw at the very last fight, preventing Ronin from actually getting anywhere near the capture point at the end for a while. I mean, Kinessa throws a mine around the corner. All it has to do is tick one person, and then she can say fire, shoot around the corner.
10 seconds. That is a long time in Paladins. That is an eternity in this game because things are happening so fast. For 10 seconds after just one tick, that is extremely strong. I was not aware of how strong this card could actually be if utilized offensively and granting vision, which is very important as a sniper, knowing when those characters are going to peek in and out around those corners, or just being able to tell your team, hey, they're over there, let's go around the flank, or like just apply that expectorate. You'll hit all 4 of them. Bam, that's so key. I also like the bob and weave pickup, which after she teleported, we're wondering why we can't track her. That's because she's moving 80% for 2 seconds. She's moving increased speed, movement speed at 80% for 2 seconds after deploying that. So she was zooming on out of there, kind of like we saw Barrack Epps on Barrack earlier in this match. That's going to be it for this game, guys. And in a moment, Vox, who we're going to be tuning into for the finals.
We are going to be tuning into, of course, well, it's not going to be us personally. It will be the Hi-Rez production crew from their offices in Atlanta, Georgia, taking that over after the SPL and SCL have finished live here on Paladins game, which will be hosted by Hi-Rez TV. They'll be covering Warpath versus Team Eager to see which one will be the second seed for the playoff series, which will be happening in another 4 weeks, deciding which 2 teams, the top 2 teams of each region, will go and fight it all out for the grand prize at DreamHack Summer in Sweden.
Now, Vox, who would you put your money on? Who would you put your money on? Warpath, Eager? They're both looking good.
Oh, that's a good question. Now, without having seen Team Eager play today, I would have put my money hands down on Warpath. They played phenomenally last week. They took games off Kangana, and comparatively in the previous Paladins World Tournament, the very final one where Kangana faced off against Team Eager, I mean, Eager managed to take 1 game, and otherwise Kangana just swipes them out.
Right.
Now, Warpath managing to take 1 game, force it to a best of 3, but also take a significant amount of points. They had momentum, but Team Eager have just been playing so well today.
And both teams are coming off a 2-0 win, right? So it's pretty much everybody's feeling good. The only advantage I would give to Warpath is the fact that they were in that finals match already. So they have the experience, they've got the repetition, and they've also got the drive. It's kind of like, yo, we had it in our fingers, right? We need to take it today. Like, we cannot let it slip again, because who knows who's going to be coming to play next week. We got to take our chances. And again, Team Eager, although they're doing really well, haven't faced off in that, best of 5 series yet. A little bit of a longer set allows for a little bit more counter play for these good teams. And again, I think obviously though Team Ronin were very good, Warpath is kind of at a little bit of a higher caliber in terms of how they've been performing in these tournaments. So it's going to be a much tougher opponent. I don't expect to not see Knessa have only 2 deaths if they pick the same squad against Warpath, because I think they're gonna make sure that does not happen.
Maybe we'll see some hot EV plays come out. But as I said, that'll be coming to you live after the SCL games have finished today. So that is it from us. My name has been Vox. I've been joined, of course, by the wonderful Rain Day Gaming. You can find us both on Twitter at Vox_Tempest and at Rain Day Gaming. Those links will be available to you, hopefully on screen at some point, and have been throughout the cast. Again, a huge thank you to our Paladins World admins, Onlylight and Phasian, who've done a wonderful job with production today. And of course, the entire Hi-Rez crew for making this possible. If you are new to Paladins and you want to find more about Paladins, go to paladins.com. You can visit paladins.com/community, pick up a few free beta keys from following them on social media, and you can share those around with your friends and enjoy the game.
Yeah, play. This is a great game. There's so many other games like this that are coming out that have so many good things to offer. It's like, I love it, man. Content, this is an age of content. Give me one good show, let me binge watch it. Give me another good show, let me binge watch it. Same thing. Give me more good games. Paladins is a great game. Play, enjoy it, learn this meta, learn these characters. Bomb, man, I'm excited. Can't wait. New characters, new maps. We just got, told by Hi-Rez today. So a lot of good things looking forward, and we'll see you guys in the finals.